Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with a conversation with self. It's a segment that when I do it, I normally do it on a Monday, and it's just a conversation that I have with myself, and I record it. But what you gonna talk about today, Michelle? Well, Michelle, you've given yourself an opportunity to just kind of just think, look, and see what's going on in this world, and we're gonna go over some. Michelle, you're gonna talk about some things that are of concern to you, and come on, Michelle. Today I want to talk to you about a crucial aspect of business that often gets overlooked, but can have profound consequences. Risk management. Risk management. Risk management. Risk management in multicultural negotiations. What? That's right. Well, we live in a multicultural world, at least in the United States. We have most of the races. I don't know if we have them all. We have most of the cultures and most of the races here in the States. And people think we have this luxurious lifestyle and that, everything here in the States that we're spoiled. No, we're not. Some people are. Not everybody. Not everybody is included in the talk and the discussion. Well, Michelle, come on. In today's globalized world, businesses are constantly interacting with people from different cultures. And while this diversity brings immense opportunities, it also comes with its fair share of challenges, which we see it going on right now. Everybody wants to be the big dog on the block. There's little dogs too. They're just as relevant. I see a lot of corruption. We're paying for corruption. Nobody wants to stand up and tell the truth. Everybody is out for their own self-serving interests. And all of you people in your own states, you need to look and see how people voted. For the bill that included SNAP benefits. You need to look and see. I'm going to talk because I worked in the field for many years. I authorized cash, food stamps, and medical. For many years. Then I also worked in emergency services where I helped with paying utilities, rent, and food. Helping people with food. You would rather millions of people go without, I'm going to talk about the babies, okay? You would rather see a child go without eating for a few numbskulls. We all know everybody's not going to be honest. But you would rather sacrifice the children for a couple of little issues. You can't compromise. I don't care what your political affiliation is. When you're rotten, you're rotten. It's not a color problem, it's a people problem right now. But the thing of it is that people need to know what's going on in their own area. And just, what's the truth? What's the truth? That's what I'm about. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, or whatever's out there. What is the truth? There's a lot of corruption going on. I see a lot of fingers pointing in the wrong direction on an issue. We know everybody's not going to get everything they want. You'll be a nut and a fool to think that you're going to get everything you want when you servicing millions and millions of people. Nobody's going to get everything they want. But most of the people that apply for those services, they have to come up with documentation in order to get it. Mostly. That's when I was coming up. You had to prove who you had to come up with paperwork. Cultural misunderstandings can lead to costly mistakes or even outright failures in negotiations. Y'all are a disgrace right now. You rather see the kids, the disabled, and the elderly who can't even hardly, they can't do, I can fend for myself, okay? I'm not worried about myself. I'm mad at you all. You're a disgrace. And around the holidays too, and you getting on your little platforms on the internet smiling and cheesing and crap. I don't think you people know how you really voted. And for those of you out there on the internet spewing all that hate and crap, you better look and see who voted how. And you worried about a few other things. You need to worry about who really is stopping people from getting the food stamps. Or their SNAP benefits. That's what they called it back in the old times. You're a disgrace. I don't care what your party affiliation is. If you're okay with kids not eating, I got a problem with you right there. For a couple of issues, you'd rather see some kids not eat. Picture this. You're in a high-stakes negotiation with a potential client from a different cultural background. You make a gesture that you think demonstrates confidence and assertiveness, but to your counterpart, it comes across as aggressive or disrespectful. In an instant, the entire negotiations can derail, leading to lost opportunities and damaged relationships. We're seeing it go on all day long right now, out of selfishness. Contract negotiation breaking down. You're a disgrace. And I don't know how you can go to sleep at night. I worked in the field. We already know everybody ain't going to be 100%. But that's not the issue. You're holding back on some other things that you need to be ashamed of yourself for. When you go to apply for SNAP benefits, you have to have documentation to do that. You can't just walk into a state office and say, "Here, I want this," and don't have no paperwork to back it up. I worked it. I authorized the food stamp. I authorized SNAP benefits. They called them food stamps back then. I authorized cash assistance. I authorized Medicaid. Do we want to support people who are cheating the system? No, we don't. But most people they need it. So we're going to sacrifice for those the majority that need it. We know we're going to have somebody in there that ain't going to be all the way right, but if they have the documentation to get it, we authorize it. Here's the good news. Being an adept at multicultural negotiations can significantly reduce the risk of such failures and enhance overall business performance. How? By understanding and respecting the cultural nuances and differences in communication styles, negotiation tactics, and decision-making processes. We can bridge the gap and build stronger, more fruitful relationships with our global partners also. But you all know you are never going to, most of the time, you're not going to get 100% of everything you want. But you need to think about the greater good. And you need to be ashamed of yourself for that. I don't care if you like me. You don't like me anyway. You're weaponizing the justice system against me. And that's already on paper. You're not helping me. I don't care what your party affiliation is. All of you hold me up off of a tree to swing. I'm for what's right. How can we effectively manage these risks and excel in multicultural negotiations? Firstly, education is key. You need to look and see who voted how. Invest in cultural awareness training for your team members involved in negotiations. Equip them with the knowledge and understanding of various cultural norms, values, and etiquettes. This will help you and others to navigate sensitive systems with confidence and finesse. Secondly, Adaptability is essential. Recognize that what works in one culture may not work in another. Be willing to adjust your approach, communication styles, and even your negotiation tactics to align with the cultural preferences of your counterparts.